It is the Divided We Fall podcast. My name is Rod, coming to you from the great state of Texas. Yes, that's right. Everything's bigger in Texas. Oh, last we talked, I was somewhere in North Dakota. I don't even remember what my last podcast was. I think I was on my way out to the dump in my personal vehicle. And I had since given up driving truck for a living and decided to try an office gig, which lasted me about a year and a half, and I went broke and decided to get back in the truck. And where did I end up? Down here in the oil patch in western Texas. So that's where I'm at, just trying to get back in the swing of things here. It's been, at least a year and a half since I've done any type of podcast or since I've put anything up here on the Divided We Fall podcast site here on Spreaker. So, lots happened, right? Holy shit. We continue to be divided, probably more so now than ever. I don't know what to make of what's going on today. I really don't. Didn't vote for Trump. I think I said that in one of the previous podcasts. Still view the mainstream media as the number one enemy of this country. And I know Trump said that. I've said it for years. I know the media itself is very put off by that statement. They feel offended. Oh, they're so offended. I can't believe he said that. I think we need to clarify something when it comes to that statement. Media, and by that I mean the media as a whole, of course is not the enemy of the people in the United States of America. And I don't think that Trump meant that when he said that. But that what's been extrapolated from that statement is that a free and open press is the enemy of the people in the United States of America. And I don't think anybody has ever said or inferred that. Anyone who's related to the Trump campaign, to the Trump White House, any time since Trump came on the scene, I don't believe anybody's ever made the inference that a free and open press is the enemy of the people. But the press as we know it today, the media as we know it today, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the Fox Newses of today, the 24-hour news cycle networks, I believe are the enemy. They should be our enemy. They have done more to divide us in this country than any other single entity that I could come up with. And if you don't believe that, then really start paying attention and looking at it. I mean, your nightly news on ABC, CBS, NBC, whatever channel you like to watch, those nightly news, maybe not so much. I might cut them a break. But when it comes to the 24-hour news cycles, the news channels, those are there specifically to create narratives based on a bias. And then to push that narrative based on their viewership, the political leanings of their viewership. You can see it. You can watch it. You can telegraph it. You know what's coming. CNN is just an abomination. I don't get close to MSNBC a whole lot. I might stray there once in a while, but I can't tolerate it. It's too far for even me. CNN, I can at least listen to it and glean some news from it. I can get some news value from CNN. I know how to filter the... Hold on a minute. That would be my CB going off. Some things never change. Hold on.
Network, I'll be done. I see it.
A little bit different driving down here in Texas than North Dakota, so I may have to rethink when I do the podcast. Where was I? Yes, the news media. Yesterday. Did you hear this yesterday? Microsoft. Microsoft came out with a press release that they have caught the Russian hackers. And you know who they're hacking? They're hacking conservatives now. But only conservatives that were never Trumpers. So see, it's proof. That's proof right there that Trump is Putin's puppet. That's what it is. Now, let's examine this for just a quick second. If you know anything about the internet and quote unquote hackers, let's break that down first. A hacker is someone who knows how to write code, knows how to manipulate an electronic device in such a way that they can get into your personal things, your email, your bank accounts, your credit cards. That's what a hacker does. A hacker gets into a place they're not supposed to be, a place that you believe is secure. It's like breaking into your house. That's what a hacker does. A hacker is like somebody who does a home invasion and can pick your lock or break a window or come in a back door and rob you blind. That's what hackers do. So there's a misnomer from the get-go here about who these supposed Russians are. They're not hackers. What they're doing is they're setting up fake websites. In other words, let's look at it this way. Let's say you want to go to Google and find out who that actor was in that movie. You can't place the name, so you're going to go to Google. You open your web browser and you type in www.google. Not 2 O's, but 3. Because, like me, you have fat fingers. And maybe you hit it twice. Maybe you're not paying that close of attention. And you hit an extra O. And then you go to a site that looks just like Google. You don't even know. You have no clue that you're not actually on the Google search engine. You're at some other site that's some spearfisher, which is what they really are. Not a hacker. Now, no one has hacked you at this point, correct? Can we all agree on that? If you type in Google, has someone hacked you? No. No, what they've done is they've tricked you. At most, they've tricked you. But who's really at fault here? The person operating the computer. Because they haven't paid that close of attention to what they're entering in that address bar. And they've gone to a site that isn't legitimate, and they don't recognize it. Now, at this point, you're looking at what appears to be Google, and you start to enter things in there that maybe you shouldn't be into, but you don't know. You've been hacked. You've been tricked. You haven't been hacked. No one has... Oh, God. Hold on. JPEG's more of a picture. PDF is more of a file. PDF is Adobe. Little tech support here from the seat of my big rig. Yeah, that's me. Back to what I was saying. If you're following along with me at all, if I haven't lost you, if I haven't bored you to death already, this is what the press release from Microsoft stated yesterday, that these Russian military people have set up these websites to trick people who go to these conservative think tank websites into thinking they're on a conservative website, conservative think tank website, but they're not. They're actually on another website that is owned and operated by these Russian hackers. Now let's break down the Russian hacker part, these Russian spearfishers, these Russian tricksters. If you also know anything about the internet and about quote-unquote hacking, you know that any hacker worth his or her salt will not leave a trail of breadcrumbs right back. Oh, wait a minute. Breaking news. What's the breaking news? I just saw a breaking news alert on my phone. See, I can do this now on the podcast. Breaking news. What is the breaking news? I can come to you live with breaking. You don't need CNN. You got me. Democratic National Committee calls FBI after detecting oh, wow, look at that. The timing could not be better. Okay, I've got 2 phones in my hand. My phone I'm doing the podcast on, my other phone, and a steering wheel and a turn signal. It's probably not safe. It's okay, folks. I'm a professional. Don't worry. All right. It's from CNN Politics. DNC calls FBI after detecting attempt to hack its voter database. Oh, this is another nice setup into the narrative of let's take over the internet. That's where I'm going with this, folks. That's where I'm going with this whole thing. We're being set up for a federal takeover of A, the internet, which is what they wanted to do with net neutrality, and B, a federal takeover of our election system. If you think I'm crazy and I'm a conspiracy theorist and I'm Alex Jones and the globalist, not a globalist, if you think that's me, go ahead. But I challenge you, Look at it for yourself and do some investigation, because every story I see is pointing towards more and more people getting riled up to the point that they will accept our internet being taken over and it not being free anymore because they're so afraid that someone's going to hack them. You've got people at home in their houses that are scared shitless that Russians are gonna hack their phone and get their info. That's what this has done. It's caused a fake panic in this country by people who just don't quite know. And if you really want to know what the problem is here, so many people only know about half as much as they should know about online operations and internet stuff that fear can be exploited. That's what I really dislike about this whole collusion thing and meddling in our investigation, meddling in our elections. I believe that it's preying on unfounded fears of those who just don't quite have as much knowledge as others as far as what it's all about. And here it is, right from CNN Politics. DNC calls FBI after detecting attempt to hack its voter database. See, our elections are at risk, people. Now back to what I was saying. Real, honest-to-goodness hackers don't leave a trail of crumbs leading right to them. So the fact that Microsoft, within mere moments of these websites, these spear phishing websites being out there and online and using a Microsoft server of some kind, within mere minutes they knew, yep, it's this Russian military unit, the GRU or whatever the hell they call it. They knew right away that it was them. Really? Do you honestly believe that? Are you willing to buy that they knew immediately? So either what we're supposed to believe here is that this high-tech Russian military unit that we're all supposed to be so scared of, that are just top-of-the-line hackers that can fuck with our elections and screw our country up, and the single greatest threat that we all face is these Russian hackers. We're supposed to believe that they're these great tech gurus who can sit there and do all this shit, but they're so dumb, they leave a trail leading right to them so we can identify who they are. Well, Rod, they're so brazen they don't care. Do you believe that? Because I don't. If these hacks are even, and I say hacks and put it in quotes, if these instances are even legitimate at all, if they're not created by our own government or some entity within our own government, which I tend to believe they most likely are, if they are from an outside source or an outside country, we have no idea who it actually is or where it's coming from. There's no way we can find out that fast. No way. I refuse to believe that. I think we're all being played. So again, I know I've gone long here, but I get wound up. I haven't done one of these in a long time, so. Okay. It's still the same email address, rodgraphing@gmail.com. Got anything to add? If you want to, tell me how stupid I am, you want to call me an asshole, you want to tell me how it all really works, because you know and I don't, that'd be great. rodgraphing@gmail.com. All right, thanks for listening.